If you play Valorant and have ADHD, you've probably experienced this more than once. Some days, everything feels effortless. Your aim is sharp, your reactions are fast, and your decisions come naturally. You feel confident, present, and in control. And then, sometimes without any clear reason, it all falls apart. Your shots miss, your timing feels off, you hesitate where you normally wouldn't. If this sounds familiar, it's important to understand something. This isn't a lack of skill, it's the way your brain works. ADHD is often misunderstood as an inability to focus. In reality, it's a difficulty with regulating attention. People with ADHD can focus extremely well, sometimes even better than average, but only under the right conditions. When the brain is sufficiently stimulated, attention can lock in deeply. This is what creates moments of intense concentration and high performance. The problem is that this state isn't stable. When stimulation drops, attention drops with it. In a game like Valorant, this means that fast-paced moments feel natural, while slower or repetitive phases can cause the mind to drift. It's not a lack of discipline, it's a neurological response. Valorant places heavy demands on cognitive resources. At any moment, players must track positioning, sound cues, ability usage, timing, communication, and decision-making. For someone with ADHD, filtering all of this information is significantly harder. The brain has to work overtime just to decide what deserves attention. When cognitive load becomes too high, performance doesn't slowly decline. It drops suddenly. This is why players can feel sharp one round and completely lost the next. Another key factor is emotional regulation. People with ADHD often experience emotions more intensely and take longer to return to baseline after something stressful happens. A single mistake, a missed shot, or a negative comment can trigger a strong emotional response. Once emotions spike, decision-making suffers, focus narrows, and reactions become impulsive. This is why tilt can escalate quickly and why it can feel so hard to recover mid-game. It's not about being mentally weak. It's about how the nervous system processes stress. Once you understand how ADHD affects your attention and emotions, the goal is no longer to fix yourself. It's to adapt your environment and habits to how your brain actually works. One of the most important things to understand is that consistency does not come from forcing discipline. It comes from reducing friction. For many players with ADHD, long gaming sessions are not effective. Performance often peaks early and then slowly declines as mental fatigue builds up. Shorter sessions with intentional breaks can actually lead to better results than grinding for hours while frustrated. When you give your brain time to reset, you protect your focus instead of draining it completely. Because ADHD brains are highly sensitive to stimulation, managing your sensory environment is crucial. Too much noise, visual clutter, or background input can overwhelm your attention system. That's why many players benefit from simplifying their setup, lowering unnecessary game sounds, reducing visual clutter, or even playing with consistent routines before matches. At the same time, complete silence or boredom can also be harmful. The goal isn't to eliminate stimulation, but to regulate it. Some players perform better with quiet background music. Others need a short warm-up routine to engage their focus before jumping into ranked. These aren't quirks, they're regulation tools. Understanding what level of stimulation helps you stay engaged without becoming overwhelmed is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. One of the biggest challenges for players with ADHD is emotional recovery. When something goes wrong, the emotional reaction is often immediate and intense. If that emotion isn't processed, it carries over into the next round and the next decision. Learning to reset emotionally is just as important as learning aim or crosshair placement. This can be as simple as taking a slow breath between rounds, physically relaxing your shoulders, or mentally resetting with a short phrase like, "New round, new decision." These small actions help signal safety to the nervous system and bring your focus back online. Over time, these micro resets can significantly reduce tilt and improve consistency. Consistency doesn't come from playing perfectly every game. It comes from understanding your patterns. If you know that your focus drops after a certain amount of time, plan shorter sessions. If you notice you play worse when emotionally charged, step away earlier rather than pushing through. This is how self-regulation works. Players with ADHD often perform best when they respect their limits instead of constantly fighting them. While ADHD brings challenges, it also comes with real advantages in games like Valorant. Many players with ADHD have exceptional reaction speed, creativity, and adaptability. They can read situations quickly, make unconventional plays, and react instinctively under pressure. When conditions are right, these traits become powerful assets. The key is learning how to access that state more consistently, not by forcing focus, but by creating the conditions that allow it to emerge naturally. Playing Valorant with ADHD isn't about becoming someone else or forcing yourself into a mold that doesn't fit. It's about understanding how your mind works and learning how to support it. When you stop fighting your brain and start working with it, the game changes. Not because you suddenly become perfect, but because you finally start playing in a way that fits who you are. And that's where real improvement begins.